What is up, everybody? Welcome to this special episode of HVAC Uncensored. Guys, I'm going to knock out the pledge real fast. No sponsorship readings. I have a great show for you guys tonight, man, that I get to talk to one of the partners of this podcast. It's a newer one that I'm excited about. I love what they're doing, and I can't wait for you guys to hear this. I know it's St. Patrick's Day. Some of you are out drinking your grain beer, eating your corned beef and cabbage. That's fine. I want you to watch this later. Somebody said you're breathing. Yeah, it's fine. I want you to know I was here, Adam. But yeah, definitely check this out. This is going to be a good one today. So let's knock out this Pledge of Allegiance and get rolling. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Five, four, three, two, one, go.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil Cavey Jr.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and welcome my guest. My guest. Let me unmute her and change this over, and let's get rocking and rolling. Welcome, Miss Claire. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just love your opener. It gets me every time. So
Thank
gets
you.
me stoked.
Try to get the show pumped, and my friend Adam, people always say, so I guess because I smoke like a chimney, so I always like into the microphone. I'm like, hey, I'm an HVAC guy. Sorry, Adam. Stop busting my balls. But yeah, Claire. So guys,
Gotta
this
let them
show-
know you're there.
Exactly. Guys, this show tonight is to obviously talk with Claire and to talk about the company Cam. Guys, they are amazing as far as what they offer. I did a podcast, I was just telling Claire, a while back with Mr. Luke, who is the CEO of the company, and I never did my due diligence, to be honest. I never looked into it enough, and now that I've checked into it, it is pretty amazing what they do. I'm not even going to lie. Something that we all take for granted. So I guess if you want to start by, just letting people know who you are, pretty much what we talked about, how you got, into Company Cam, and then we can go from there.
Sure. Yeah, of course. So again, my name's Claire Fike. I work for Company Cam. If you don't know what Company Cam is, just so you have a general overview, we're a photo documentation and communication tool for service professionals. So we do a lot, but overall, we help you get all of your visual documentation in one place and organized. But yeah, so the company, if you haven't checked us out, we're a pretty fun crew. We're a pretty fun bunch. I found the company back in 2018 when they were only 30 people working out of a small office in downtown Lincoln, Nebraska. And that's kind of where I got my start. First sales gig, really had no idea how to talk to contractors at all. And I really just jumped in, and it was so fun, such a good culture there, and learned a lot because the technology itself was built by Luke, who you interviewed, and he worked for a really big roofing company in Nebraska. So he knew exactly what he needed, built Company Cam. So learned a lot there. Left the company for 2 years, had to come out to sunny California, needed to get out of Nebraska. And now, with the world as it is, I get to work remotely. So I went back to Company Cam in 2021 and have been there since. So it's been super fun, still learning a lot, growing, and yeah, just it's been a good ride.
Yeah, I bet it's awesome, and now with the day and age to be able to work remotely, that's pretty cool that people have that option. I think that's one of the only good things that came from COVID is a lot of companies realized, hey, we don't need these people to 100 people sitting in a room staring in cubicles. And sometimes people are more creative when they can work in their own space, or at least have the option, to be able to do that. So that is cool that they do that for their people.
Totally, totally. I think we have somebody in Argentina working for us, so it's pretty awesome. People are spread all over the U.S. and outside. So, yeah, it's a really great company. They have an awesome office in Nebraska though too. So they play both sides.
Yeah, no, that's cool. We already got a comment. Somebody said, I love Company Cam. It keeps the metadata from the photos.
Hey, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, that's awesome.
That's good to hear.
And I will say, I mean, and a lot of people, and I'm always honest. When I first heard this, I'm like, oh, well, some of the CRMs offer something like this. So why do you need something extra? But they don't offer that. So it may be on a kind of like a skeleton level, but really looking through. So everybody listen to this. I will put it in the comments. For partner, they have hooked you guys up for being friends of mine. If you go to companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored, they're giving you a free 14-day trial. Free, risk-free, cost you nothing. Do it for 14 days. If you happen to like it, then they're giving you 50% off your first 2 months. Telling you, you should definitely check this out. It really, when I went through the demo, I was like, oh shit, it does this. Oh, like I didn't know it did that. Because all these HVAC guys, we look through our phones, and I still have it to this day. It's always iCloud full, because I have all these pictures of random systems in my phone, and I'm like, I think that job's done. Oh, I don't need this one. I think that one's done. So it just, even for that little part, it's enough for me. And then all the other factors that come with it are just kind of amazing. So have you felt like, I mean, obviously this is HVAC. How have you seen it grown in the different industries between like plumbing, HVAC, roofing, and stuff like that? Because obviously it started in roofing side, right?
Yes, yeah. We started in roofing and then grew into restoration, general construction, obviously, and then HVAC is one of our larger industries that we serve. But yeah, it's been so cool to see it expand because the idea for Company Cam was built off of a roofing company, so it's project based, and they built it out for, and they're working with a lot of insurance and they need to send in photo reports and things like that. So you'll kind of see those main features of Company Cam always there. They'll always be there because we were built based on a roofer. But now seeing it, it's just what I really love about the company, and I believe that any good company will do this, is they listen to their customers and they ask what their customers need, and what would make their day-to-day better. So as we were expanding into these different industries, we started doing a lot of customer interviews just to understand, hey, obviously everyone is taking photos. If you're not taking photos, it's probably a dumb move.
Yeah.
And so that means that everybody needs their photos organized and needs to know which photos go to which location. So that the general value is there. But the next level was, okay, but how can we serve an HVAC tech as well as we serve a roofer? And so it was great to really conduct those interviews and start to really learn and expand within these trades. And then we started going to other conferences because my role, we travel a lot. We go to conferences, so we get to talk to you guys who are out in the field actually doing this. I know that I'm not a contractor. I will never pretend like I am or that I know what you guys go through every day. But the next best thing that I can do is talk to you and hear from you and then bring that back. And then our product team can just build out these magical tools that really make a big difference. The small things make a big difference. So expanding specifically in HVAC is something we've really been focusing in on. And I'm so glad that I'm a part of that piece of expanding within HVAC because it's a really, really cool industry. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's awesome to work with somebody that they listen to you and take your feedback. Because, some of these big companies, you're like, hey, I wish you had this. And they're like, yeah, okay. Like, thanks, appreciate it. But they're not changing. That's not what they worry about. So it's actually funny. Two of the people that I told you before the show started that you should meet are actually in the chat. One of them asked real fast, so I don't forget this. Do you guys integrate with Service Titan?
We don't integrate with Service Titan. We integrate with a ton of CRMs, and a lot of them are outside of the HVAC industry, obviously, because we didn't start here. But our philosophy as a company is we are open to integrating with any technology that sees value for their customers to integrate with us. So we do a ton of integrations, and we want more. But yeah, currently not with Service Titan, but some of the bigger ones in this space would be like House Call Pro, Workies, Successware. We just integrated with Jobber, and we're open to even more. So yeah.
Yeah, because one thing I like, and we've been at Beltway, we've been thinking about making a switch to another one of these softwares. And Adam, I know you asked what are the features, and I will go over that, buddy. I promise you here shortly the different features. I wouldn't tell you to go do it without saying what it can do. And we've been thinking about switching and doing different things. And one thing I know a lot of these CRMs don't do is, yes, you can take pictures. Maybe you can mark on it, like, different things like that. But when you save a picture and it goes into like the customer's invoice, it stays in that invoice. So when I go back, it's not like in one, it's not always in one place. And I don't want to speak for all of them, but I know that's how House Call Pro is, which isn't like the greatest. I mean, I know that as far as when companies get bigger. But one thing I love about what you guys do at Company Cam is like it's GPS located. Like it creates that file. It's all in there. The videos can be mixed in, and then anybody can go back and see those pictures. That's has a login, see when they were taken, where they were taken, who took them, all that kind of stuff. You guys can mark up the photos. You can send before and after pictures to your customer, which I really love that. And it's funny, I don't know if you guys even do this. Something I thought about before I even met you guys was I wanted to be able to send my customers like before, during, and after like pictures of an installation. Like, hey, this is the process. And then at the same time, I wanted to have like, this was the service tech that came out and you bought the system, or the sales guy or whatever. This is the installers that were there, like a little bio of them to be able to send that to the customer. And so when I saw this kind of thing, the before and afters, like I really, really, love that feature. And I think integrate it right in what we do could really just add value. We're all trying to add value to our customers. That's the whole point. And I do like every little thing that does. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, you bring up so many good points, and we get so many suggestions and little things that would like I said, make people's lives better, or that would enhance a feature, if you will. And I love that idea. You're not the first person that said it would be cool to have before, in progress, and after, rather than just before and after. So I'm all for that. I'll bring that back to the product team. But yeah, in general, I've just loved, our goal has always been to make life easier, organize your photos, get them where they need to be. But the next step that we really focus on is creating customer transparency and helping you create trust between yourself and your customer. And we're realizing that what I'm seeing through all my customer interviews is that the companies that are really taking it to the next level are the ones that are visually sharing what they have done, what they're going to do based off of visually what they're seeing and what needs to be worked on, and then showing the end goal, the end product, and being able to share that completely easily, succinctly to a customer as quickly as possible. It just makes all the difference for them. And with Company Chem, you can do that. There's many different outputs for your photos. But that's a really big value that we're trying to drive home for our contractors and for the people we work with.
Yeah, I agree. Transparency is huge because people nowadays, it's like they want to pay a fair price. So they don't want the highest guy necessarily, don't want the cheapest guy. They look in the middle. And okay, this guy's in the middle, but am I not going to get ripped off? So like we teach our guys when they do maintenances, little things to be able to go show the customer, get them involved. Well, now you got people work from home. They're in meetings. You can't always bring them down. So photos, videos, that is the way that you have to show them to be able to still get around, a way to build that value. Rental properties, you're with the tenant, you're not talking to the landlord. And something I used to do, it was funny, and I learned through one of the trainers out there, so I don't want to take this as mine. I would just send the landlord pictures. Wouldn't call them anything. I would just send them random pictures, and then eventually they would call me and be like, hey, I got these pictures. Oh, hey, this is Gil from Beltway. I'm out here at your rental property, such and such. And they're like, oh, yeah. I never had to call them once. I got them to call me by sending them pictures of dirty stuff or whatever. So you guys can have that trick.
Tactic.
Yeah, you guys can have that trick. I'll give that to you. But yeah, I think that is huge. And I know, and on the flip side, playing devil's advocate, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, okay, well, why do I have to pay extra for something that, takes pictures and stores photos? My CRM does it okay. Well, that's the thing. Your CRM is always going to do it just okay, because maybe that's a feature they want to add into it, but that's not a priority for them. Just like a lot of us, we may, have something on our phone that is good, but we add another application because it just does one thing, but it does it very, very good. That is what Company Cam is. And I feel like how you said you're growing and where you guys have come from, and this is only the beginning of the features that are going to be added to it. It's going to keep going. And even what you guys offer now is, and I guess I should go over the actual, features. I don't know. We can talk about that because people have asked, as things they can do. I don't know if that's, you want to go over that? We'll go back and forth, or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure. I was just gonna hit on something that you said. You're very right. That's like probably our main challenge, if you will, when people will say, well, I can just use Google Drive, or I can just drop them in a text or in an email, or, oh, my CRM does it. But I think you have to get out, you have to zoom out and see the big picture and see that it's about saving time and it's about convenience. And when you have convenience and you save time, you're saving money, right? And then you can put that energy elsewhere into the business. So it's just like a really big piece is, right, you could go into your CRM, you can try to find the attachment section, you can snap your photo, and then it's going to upload. But then what do? How do you text that? What if you just want to send that directly to the customer? What if you want to add that into a report right away? What if you want to mark it up? What if you want to comment on it and then send it to somebody? All these things are leading into features that we do. I think you said it perfectly. The photo experience is not the main priority for CRMs, just like, or other technologies that aren't just necessarily for CRMs, but our main priority is an incredible photo experience, and for you to be able to make it as convenient as possible for your team to take photos, because we all know that a team that takes photos wins, to make it as easy as possible for people to do that, and then to make sure that they follow the procedures they need to follow, and to get those photos back into the hands of your customers so they trust you and they keep coming back. So in the end, we just make it, we try to make it as easy as possible. I went on a rant there a little bit, but I think you're totally right. That's the reason why we want to integrate with as many technologies with as many platforms as possible, because we know what we do really well, and what they do really well. And we just want to make whatever tech stack our customers choose, we want to make it as easy and streamlined as possible. So that's the reason for integrations and kind of our outlook on it. So we can jump into features unless you have anything to say on that.
Yeah, no, and real fast, and that makes sense. That's why I think the CRMs, it's good to have integrations, because they can let people that are good at what they do integrate with their software, and then they can stick their resources and research and development on what they're trying to do to separate themselves from other CRMs, rather than having a whole division that's worried about how are they going to take photos? How can we link this and how can we link that? Okay, well, just integrate, and you have somebody that's what they do. Like I always tell, you don't go to a hot dog place to buy a cheesesteak. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? You don't go to a hamburger place to buy spaghetti. Like it's the same concept. If somebody is, maybe they only do one thing, but if they're really good at it, that is enough reason to be able to do it right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think another big piece too is that depending on where you sit in the company, you may not need to be in the CRM, or you may only need to fumble with one certain aspect of the CRM, but everything else you don't need to. So that's actually what we found with a lot of our customers, where they're like, really, half of our crews, our division, depending on the trade, really they just need company cam. They just need to be snapping photos, and then all those photos will go into our CRM, and we're quite fairly priced, I would say. Not to be, I would not to be biased, but we're quite fairly priced compared to, signing a annual contract with the CRM. We're just different. So a lot of people have chosen that route too, and we like to be flexible. So yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's cool. I mean, obviously, as somebody who runs a business, cost is always huge. Cost versus value. This is going to cost me, but is it going to change my technicians' lives? Is it going to our technicians' lives? Is it going to help them be better in the field, a better experience for the customer? All that kind of stuff goes into play. I mean, I looked over some of the things that you have. Obviously, I mean, I won't lie, everybody. I don't know all of their pricing, because it is a partnership that we do. But I also know from talking to people that I know who do use your service, like pay for it and all that, and say it's peanuts compared to what they spend on other stuff.
Yeah, and the savings. I love doing customer interviews and just hearing that people are like, because we took this one photo and it was time, date, and location stamped, we saved 10 grand. Like we literally have a blog about this, just because they could prove that they didn't do something because they took a photo before it happened. So anyway, it's cool stories that way. But I will say specifically for the HVAC industry, we were really excited about we just rolled out a new feature. It's called our to-do lists. And basically it's a photo checklist. So obviously you have a ton of apprentices and you have people that you're training, and even people that aren't apprentices anymore. It's nice to be able to go into a technology that's easy to use, be able to see boom, 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 boom. This is, the steps I do for this maintenance call, or this is the step I do for this type of install. And as you're going down that checklist, you can add notes, and then you can add a photo, and then you can just export that right away and send that to the homeowner and say, these are the steps I did.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we just rolled it out, and it's been well, people have really liked it.
I love it. I'm glad I just found out about it because I had no idea.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, we've been told that people were making Company Cam a training device kind of manually. They were creating projects and then dumping in photo examples that were all drawn up on and text and showing like, hey, this is what you would fix, or this is the type of equipment you would use for this type of an issue. And I was so intrigued by that, that they started using it as a training tool, because it makes sense. Any of their employees can open up that project and scroll through and see the different types of issues that they might run into, and have that right there visually for them. But now with a checklist, you can create those, customize those, and make sure that all of your standard operating procedures are being followed. So
Yeah,
that's one feature.
that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know about that one. I know about the other features, and I love that because just how I said how my guys do on maintenances and different things, and we do have a checklist that they have to do. And now if they can document that with pictures, that's awesome. I love that feature, so I'm glad you said that. I didn't even know that one. I got to add that to my list of things that I need to make sure people know.
Yeah, good. No, that's good. That's good to hear it. What would I mean, in general, what would you say is stuck out to you the most that was going to bring value to your team? I'm always interested. Was it just the general value prop of all of my photos are in the right place, they're organized automatically, or Was it reports? I'm always interested.
Well, I do like the reports, but I do like that they're all in the same place, and you can tell who's taking them. Like, I don't know about some of the other CRMs, so I won't speak. I used Service Titan years ago, but we don't use that here. And what we do is if when people guys go out, take a picture and they attach it to a certain job, it's on that job. So you can go into the customer down the road, and under their profile, the picture is not there. You have to search through the specific job to be able to find it, unless they go through and then have to add another step to add it to the job. And then, so that's a pain. I want it to be able, or even switching apps is just easy. Like, okay, let me company cam this customer, Mrs. Johnson, and then every picture that we've ever taken on that job is there. And that's huge, because I want guys to be as prepared as possible before they walk into what system's there. Is it in the attic? Is it this? Is it that? And that's how they can do it, all that being in one place. And then we always say CYA, cover your ass. You know, when they fill out their notes and pictures, like you were just saying about the timestamp and stuff like that, that's huge. I always tell them the more information they give me, the better that I can protect them against something else. If they don't fill out notes and there's no picture and a customer calls in and says, oh, your guy was just out here and, you know, there's a scratch in my wall. Well, if I have no way to disprove it, guess what? I'm paying to fix the wall. We're paying to fix the wall, you know? But if they have pictures, like I tell them, if you see something like that, document it. And it'll be timestamped. They got there at 8 o'clock, and at 8:10, hey, took this picture. I just want to, just want everybody to know that this was here before we started. That adds value. That's going to save us money in the long run. Like those little things that add up. And people are like, oh, well, sometimes there's metadata in your iPhone photos. Okay, are you going to save them on your iPhone or your Samsung for 6 years, 5 years, stuff like that? No, you're not. And your CRM is not doing that. I guarantee it. If one of them does it, it's new, and I didn't know about it. And I'm almost positive that they don't. So, I mean, and I could keep going. That's why I think, and then the little things on top. Like I know Service Titan does the whole where you can like mark the photo and like draw an arrow. But then there's also a lot of other things they don't do. So that on top of it, being able to say, draw an arrow. I'm sitting there writing on my hand, like everybody can see my goddamn hand. Being able to draw an arrow, like diverting the customer's attention to, hey, look at this kind of stuff. It seems like something that's so small and so minute, but it's really important in the flow of what you're trying to do to a customer. Just like when we look on social media, like advertising and marketing, you draw people's eyes to what you want them to see. And I think all those little things add up. This cannot hurt. And to be honest, I think it's good. And this is just my personal opinion. All the people out there, like the big, huge companies, I get what they do and stuff like that. But if you are a smaller to mid-sized company, this is 100% for you, without a doubt. You should be looking at this. And to be honest, the smaller, the better, because you don't have all this. You probably can't afford the fanciest CRMs. You have to try to, maybe you're wearing multiple hats and you're trying to be the installer, the service guy. You need something like this to simplify the same thing, but it also gives you that presence to the customer. Like, I'm professional. I send pictures before and after. Like, hey, this is before we did it. This is after. Like, all that stuff adds up and creates value with the customer.
Yes.
I got long-winded.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, I love, again, I ask the question just to learn, because in my brain, I'm like, oh, maybe they'll run into this issue, or this might be an issue. But I was talking to, her name's HVAC Jess on Instagram. Yeah. She's awesome. I was talking to her, and we were actually, I was showing her company cam because she uses Jobber, and we just recently integrated. And I was like, have you heard of us? I'd love to chat with you about your photo experience. And she was just so amazed by the fact that she was like, I don't have to go in and resize all of my photos ever again for reports. You mean like I don't need to go upload my photos to my desktop and then put them in like Word or Adobe or whatever you're using and have to resize and have to deal with really big image files. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was an issue that you guys probably run into day to day. And so it's the small things, again, that make a world of a difference if it can be automated for you.
Yeah, and not even think about that. downloading the photos into the CRM. Like at least I know with House Call Pro, it's, original, small, medium, large. And even if you hit
Mm-hmm.
small and you have to upload, like, say, 15 pictures, you're sitting outside for like 30 minutes. And it's like that slow ticker of death waiting for it to go through. And it's like, oh my God, I knew I should have waited. And then it makes guys like, because I try to, I was a technician, so I understand what, our guys go through. And, you just got done, you're trying to go to your next call, but we harp on them. Make sure you upload your pictures, model, serial number, blah, this, that. They don't feel like sitting there for 30 minutes waiting until they're done. I mean, granted, they can be driving and stuff like that, but it's still a pain in the ass. They can't finish the ticket out until they get that done. It's just, yeah, that's a pain. And those little things add up, and you don't have a headache. My friend, my buddy Tersh. So the one that I told you that my good friends, the other podcast host, Tersh and Josh Crouch, are both in here from the Service Business Mastery podcast. And Tersh said, definitely interested in the platform integrations and making sure it does not duplicate work in the field while capturing the photos and videos.
Sure. Yeah, so maybe I would want to get a little bit more context around that. I can explain what our general integration flow looks like if this is helpful. So for example, for House Call Pro, and again, this is the same for Jobber as well. They use different words for the same thing, but same flow is that when you create a new job in House Call Pro, or if you were to create a new contact, new estimate, whatever you choose, it's going to push over and create a project in Company Cam. So it's automatically going to create a project in Company Cam. And then your techs are going to drive up to that location that they're working on, and Company Cam uses location-based tracking. So it's going to pull up all the nearby addresses and projects that they're closest to. So that job that you created in House Call Pro will pop up for them in Company Cam as a project the moment that they get there. And then they're able to jump into Company Cam and they can snap all the photos they need. They can take all their notes, take all their edits. And then the moment that you snap a photo in Company Cam, the photos are automatically going to upload back to House Call Pro under, and again, I'm using that as my example, under the attachments section. And that's where I believe you would normally upload your photos or snap your photos.
Yep.
So that is our general workflow. Every CRM is a little different. But yeah, I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, no, that is helpful. And one thing that I've learned, and I don't know that, Company Cam automatically does that, right? Like that's no step needs to be taken by the technician to get that to go over to the CRM, correct? Like House Call Pro, they take their pictures, the project or whatever, that automatically goes over to the attachments, like what you just said, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So they don't have to do an extra. That's the whole reason why we integrate, is so you don't have to do that extra step to move your photos elsewhere. The whole point is to create that streamlined effect.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Well, time is money. So, I mean, obviously we want to use technology, but if we can try to, still have that presence and still look professional and offer all that value to the customers, but at the same time, the only thing I ever worried about with integration sometimes was I need them to be efficient and easy, because I feel like if you ask technicians, we always say this at our company, if you ask technicians to do too much, they'll do nothing. So you can't keep telling them like, hey, I need you to go out. I want you to do this, get a review. I want you to sell this, do that, do this. They get out there and it's like, I don't care what kind of process you have in place. It makes their brain turn to mush, especially when you add in the elements. It's 150 degrees in the attic, or it's snowing and you're freezing. So use technology in a way that you make things easy. You simplify it. That's the whole point. Don't make it harder.
Yes, 100%. Because, and I think that's another reason why a lot of people choose to go with us, especially for their employees that may, again, not need a seat in the CRM necessarily. That's why they choose to go with us, because a lot of people will come to us and they'll be like, oh, well, I'm not tech savvy, or, oh, it's just so difficult to get my guys to take photos or to even upload them back to the office for us to get organized. organized. I don't even know if they're taking photos, and it's kind of this teeth pulling experience. And that's what we have in the back of our minds all the time as a technology company. We're like, how do we make this easier? Because it's that simple issue, is that if it's an added on thing that they have to do and they're doing a million other things, they're not going to do it. So again, that's why I think why we've done so well is because the photo capture experience, although you wouldn't think it would be such a trivial thing, is so simple. It's so simple, and it automatically uploads. They don't have to do anything after that at all. The photos are there. They're where they need to be, and they can access them anytime. So it's, as you said, time is money, and to be able to have those small things that work taken out of the process for you can make all the difference.
Yeah, it's also, and what I love, is just in talking to you and remembering the talk that I had with Luke, and remembering things he said then, and just all the things you've added since then. And this isn't even like that long ago. We're not talking that long. Jeez, I got logos that are like changing the size all of a sudden. But I love the fact of like how like I feel like some kind of niche integrations like this, they're really good at something, they come out, but then they never add anything. Like they make a splash and then that's it. We're done. We're just gonna, like, we've made our name and we're just gonna live on that. And I'm not saying that that's bad, but you have to constantly be innovating, making new things and all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing I love about you guys is, yeah, you came out offering something a little bit different, but you keep trying to add things to it to make it more valuable and get better and better and better. So what you offer now is amazing. I can only imagine what it is 2 years from now and stuff like that. So
Me too. There's a lot of things in the works. It's exciting times, and I think that, yeah, as a business owner, and when you're choosing your tech stack, it really is so important. I think you hit the nail on the head that it's so important that you find a company that is growth oriented, but also customer oriented. Because you're right, there's a lot of tools out there that people went with, maybe they didn't do their research fully, and now they're stuck, and they're scared to, they don't know how to move over to another platform that they know would be a better fit for them. They're worried that they'll lose their data. They're worried that their teams won't adopt a new system. And that could be a whole nother conversation just around being able to have adoption of your technology stack. But it really is an important thing for business owners to think about now, because the people that are ahead of the game are the ones that have a great technology stack. I really do believe that if it's being used well and being used right by your team. So, yeah, I think that's a big point. And I thank you for that compliment at our company. And I see the same thing from our product team, that it's always growth oriented for sure.
yeah, when you hear people, it's like, oh, we came out with this and you're still enjoying the newness. Like I'm here excited about all the things I've learned. And then you're like, oh, well, we just dropped this and you can do this, this, and this. And I'm like, well, shit, I didn't even know about that. Like, that's awesome. That's just the icing on the cake, like whew, blow out my candles on the cake. that's awesome.
Good to hear. I'm glad it's keeping people excited, keeping people happy. And the one other thing that I'll mention, just because you kind of touched on it, with like the before and afters, obviously that creates transparency just right there when you're talking to a homeowner with a customer. But as I'm learning, this industry is a huge space on social media, and a huge space on all social channels, and it's a big deal, and people are going to go to look at your website, they're going to look at your Instagram, they want to know who your techs are, they want to see people's faces. Things are changing, and your prospects are expecting more, and it is a competitive market. So I think that has been another value and goal of ours, is again to use these photos to not only keep your business running smoothly internally, but growing your business externally and bringing in new customers. So we just came out with, it's called Showcases, and now you can basically connect your company cam directly into your website, and it's like this beautiful widget that just fits into any website. I wish I could like show it to you, but you can't even tell it's company cam. And you get to go in and choose the projects and choose the photos, and then give it a full summary of work that you did. You can say uh, the types of tools that you used, or whatever brands that you used, or whatever type of install you did. And then prospects can go in and just go through all the work you've done, which again
Nice.
just creates more transparency, more trust, and you didn't even have to think about it. It's just happening on the back end. So that's something we're excited about too.
That is pretty awesome. Um, Real fast. Hello everybody in the chat. Kanga, Adam. I thought that it messed up on Facebook there for a second, but it's fine. Sometimes my thing goes funny. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even opened the chat. I now see it. So here we go.
Oh yeah, the chat. So yeah, that's on there. So you'll see. Since the Facebook group is a private group, it won't bring their information unless they allow it access. So that's why it's just you don't know who it's coming from sometimes, but YouTube's fine.
No worries.
HVAC Overtime, my buddy Adam. That's another show that they do every Friday. That's another show that has a really good viewing. They have
Awesome.
probably a couple hundred people watching every Friday. Um, but
Dang,
yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, and I tell all of you, man, you guys know that I don't ever, I've turned down so many different kind of sponsorships in the past because I don't believe in what people do, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to ever lose credibility. That's why I've always dealt with Yellow Jacket because I love them so much. I use their products. That's why when we started talking, and I was like, I really think this is awesome and adds value to people. Like it's somebody that I would want it. Like I would want our brands partnered with, which I hope you guys said the same thing. Like, hey, this is somebody we would want to partner with, not like this guy's kind of an asshole. Maybe we should see how it works. Um, but yeah, and I think it's awesome, what you guys are doing. And I tell all you guys out there, 14-day trial, go check it out. 14 days, it is free, costs you nothing. See what it can do, and then if you, like I said, if you like it, for being part of Uncensored Nation, they will give you 50% off your first 2 months. I mean, you have nothing to lose. If it's about money, 14 days, it don't cost you a dime. So I really do suggest to all you guys, give it a try. If you don't like it, then hey, you don't like it. I'm not trying to steal your wallet from you, but I do think I highly suggest that everybody at least gives it a try, because when I was telling her off air that I did a podcast with their CEO years ago, never did my due diligence. I thought it was cool, all the things he was explaining, never even looked into the app. I'm not even going to lie. And when I did, I was like, oh shit, like, oh, they do this? Oh, look, that's neat. Oh, how about this? Like, oh shit, keep going. And I'm halfway down the feature list. So that's why I'm saying it's worth checking out, guys. Even if you guys are technicians and not an owner, be that guy that gets the gold star, the attaboy from your boss, because you're like, hey, I was watching HVAC Uncensored the other day and he was talking about company cam. You should check this out, boss man. Um, so it's.
I I was gonna add to, I don't mean to interrupt.
You're good.
Um, but I was gonna add to, um, definitely it's kind of a no-brainer. Download it, play with it, try it out. But we have an awesome onboarding team, and once you download the app, we'll hit you up, whether that's on email or I think sometimes they even text people, which is kind of cool if you're not annoyed of that. But they're all very real people and they're very cool. And they'll set up a demo for you, and they'll run you through the entire thing. So, and again, you get that demo, you basically get that training. You can get training for everybody in those first 2 weeks and test it out all still for free. So that's what I suggest, is like, just take us up on it. And just, they're going to say like, hey, can we train you? Yeah, let them train you. And then if you find out after 2 weeks, or even after the first 2 months, that you get 50% off, like that it's not a fit for you, it's not a fit for you. Like I said, you have to make good decisions for your company, and you decide what works for your tech stack. But I think it will really do you good to let somebody train you, because then you can decide if it's the right fit.
Yeah, for sure. And let's be honest. I mean, I hope that most people out there are not still on pen and paper. It is 2022. Um, but if say you are old school, you need this 100%. You need this because I don't know if you're out there taking Polaroids or out there. You know what I mean? Um,
Well, hey, even if you're filling up your own personal camera roll with work photos still, in my brain, I'm like, gosh, how are you still doing that?
It,
So,
it is. It sucks. I mean, I literally, if you go through mine right now, um, I I have a whole bunch of them. I mean, I have ones from years ago that I thought I deleted, and then it gets to the point where every time I buy a new phone, I just get like a more memory, so I can just transfer everything over. Because going back trying to delete them is a pain in the ass. So you're kind of stuck.
yep.
So that is huge. I mean, now if I can delete some, I don't have to pay, $20 a month for 90 million terabytes of photo storage, and I don't even know what half those photos are. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Well, awesome. It's just so fun to chat with you guys, and the community in this industry is so cool and so so incredible business owners, incredibly smart. I am just like at AHR meeting so many people, and the types of questions I got when people would come to our booth were so different, and you could tell like so technically savvy and like business forward growth thinking. And it's just so cool to be able to have those conversations, because again, it only makes us better. Because if we didn't have any of you, we wouldn't exist.
Sure.
So yeah, it's so fun. I love hearing people's feedback. We want that feedback, and we want to know what you think. So
Yeah.
always let us know.
And that's awesome. Like I said, I think that's where you got why you guys are where you are, because you're constantly trying to innovate. The fact that you listen to the consumer as far as what they want, and then you don't just list it and then, oh yeah, that sounds great. You guys actually take it and implement it, and you keep rolling out new things, and that's what I think makes Company Cam stand out as far as what you guys do. Obviously, everybody that I've met from there has been, it's been amazing. Hopefully, meet some more people at some of these other events. And I do think it's a good fit because we do
Have we
have a
sent you over some swag?
no.
We have awesome swag.
Yeah, I
We have
want some.
awesome t-shirts. I'm wearing a really cool one with a patch right here. So
Yeah,
yeah, we need to get you hooked up.
yeah, definitely. I need some swag, and I have a website that's getting ready to be done. Because people want merch, and it's awesome. I couldn't be shipping things out and stuff like that. So once I get mine, I'll hook you guys up to rock it out. And obviously, we'll be seeing each other in Arizona at the Women in HVCR event. So that is pretty
Heck yeah.
awesome. So yeah, I guess it is St. Patrick's Day, and we won't keep people too long. I thank you, Claire, for coming on. This is amazing. I'm glad that we were able to meet at AHR and all these other events, because we do have an awesome community. I think there's an awesome knit of podcasters and influencers that we all are pretty tight, that we all know that we're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to give back to the trade. Like, we hop in each other's shows, like the Overtime guys are here. Tersh and Josh hop in here. Like, we all do that for each other because we know that we're doing the same thing. And we love to work with companies like this that are trying to help our fellow technicians, our colleagues, better themselves and be better for the customer, and just do things right and be honest. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of shit bags out there, and sometimes you can't tell the difference. It's kind of the devil in disguise. They sound like they're genuine, but they're not. And we try to filter through that as best as possible to be able to only give the legit ones to our viewers and our listeners. And I definitely think that you guys are definitely one of those genuine ones. I just wish I would have saw it 2 years ago when I talked to Luke.
Hey, better late than never. Better late than never. But yeah, the more that I learn about this trade, the more that people really there's so much that goes into it, and so much education. And how are you to know as a homeowner what's right? And you hope and trust that you find people that are trustworthy and that are honest and good. And I very much take that to heart, even just like working in a technology company, serving you guys as well. You want to do the exact same thing. You don't you're not on the tech side. That's not your main thing that you do. So you want to make sure that you have a company that you trust. So, it goes back and forth.
Yeah, we always say it's that servant leadership, that servant mentality. If you're religious, then you understand that part of it. That servant mentality, that servant stuff like that is really when you learn to serve other people. That's how you really grow. That's like they say: if you worry about money, you won't make it. If you worry about customers and everything else, you will. So it's kind of a it goes full circle when you think about it in the big grand scheme of things. Thank you, Claire, coming on so much. If you guys have any new things that come out or anything else drops, let me know. And some of that merch, the swag that you send, I won't keep it. I'll give it out to let some of these people enjoy some of the cool stuff. I do that sometimes. I don't need it all. I don't need to be selfish, but yes.
Heck yeah. And hey, if any of them are if they're going to any trade shows, we're going to a lot of them coming up here and at the end of March and April. And we always bring fun stuff. So come say hi to Company Cam if you're at a conference we're at.
Yes, definitely go. They're cool people. That's how me and Claire met at AHR podcasting and got to talk to them, and it was really awesome. And then we got to work out this partnership. So and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. This is only the beginning. So like I said, guys, the link is no matter where you are, the link should be in the comments. www.companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored. That will get you your free 14-day trial. And if you like it, then you get 50% off your first 2 months. Take a risk. I steal this from another big podcast, but I always say, take a risk. Columbus did. That's It's funny, if you like the comedian Joey Diaz, he always says that. He's like, fucking take a chance. Columbus did. So I always laugh when he says it, so I don't want to steal it, but I think it's hilarious. Take a chance. Check it out. There's nothing to lose. Like I said, if you don't like it after 14 days, then don't do it. It's that simple. But Claire, like I said, thank you so much for coming on. We will definitely do this again. Maybe we'll have to talk to Luke and try to get Luke to come back on as well. Let him come on and talk about.
We should.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We can have a couple of you come on. We can have a Company Cam live stream or something and do like a demo online and stuff like that. So I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah, that'd be super fun. I think a few people asked about different features and stuff like that. So we have actually an incredible marketing team, an incredible creative team, and they've made awesome YouTube videos. They're like hilarious TikToks. We're super active on Instagram, so you can go learn about the app, but you can also have a good time with us. They make really fun content. We try to keep it light, try to keep it fun. So come hang out.
Yes, and obviously that's how you can check out the demo and stuff. But if you search Company Cam, so you guys are what, like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, what, like LinkedIn, all those different ones?
Oh yeah, TikTok's probably my favorite right now. I'm not even personally on TikTok, but I went and looked up Company Cams, and it's so funny. I give mad props to our content team. So
I feel like I'm
check
too
it out.
old for TikTok. I've tried. I'm do Facebook, the YouTube. I'm getting on Instagram.
I'm with you.
Oh, you can go ahead. I'm too old for TikTok. I'll try.
Sorry.
I'll see.
We're going over each other. Yeah, no, I am not into TikTok because I'm scared that I have kind of an addictive brain a little bit when it comes to things like that. So I know that if I just keep scrolling, it's not going to be good for me.
Get stuck down
So I haven't gotten on it. But yeah.
Yeah, get stuck down that rabbit hole. Then you're just walking down the street, and all of a sudden you start doing these goofy videos and all this goofy stuff. It's yeah, I don't know. I guess you have to be open to tech. Well, I guess I can't say that because I'm being a hypocrite. I'm sitting here telling all the listeners and viewers to be open to technology, but then I'm saying I can't do this. So I take that back. I will check out TikTok, so I'm not a hypocrite. I'll check out TikTok.
I challenge you to make your first TikTok.
Yes, and you guys check out Company Cam. I'm gonna check out TikTok. You guys check out Company Cam, and we'll call it even.
Love it. Well, yeah, thank you again for having us on. We're stoked about partnering up, and yeah, let's just keep it rolling, keeping good people, good technology, good partnerships. That's what makes makes it all happen.
Yes, for sure. This is great. I'm excited to be partnered with you guys. And like I said, I can't wait to see where it goes, to be able to get some more live events and be able to do some stuff in person with you guys. It's going to be a really good time. So thank you for coming on. I won't waste any more of your St. Patrick's Day. Guys, I'm just going to end it here. I'm not even going to play the ending. Well, I will play the ending bumper or whatever. But thank you guys for checking this out and, coming on and watching this with me and Claire. This was a special episode I wanted to do. And I just wanted you guys to hear some of the benefits of this. You guys know I won't bring anything to you if I don't believe in it. And I definitely believe in this, and I think it can help each and every one of you. I definitely think it's, like I said, it's worth at least looking at, seeing if it's for you. If it's not, it's not. But check it out. Click the link, look at it, try it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, fucking great. You're welcome. And we'll go from there. So you guys enjoy your, Luck of the Irish, St. Patrick's Day. Have a good time. If you guys are going out drinking, whatever it is, please be safe out there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which isn't much, but be safe. And I thank you guys. Claire, I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and end this out real fast, and then we can let everybody go have their night. Wherever I can find the screen.
Awesome. Happy St. Patty's, everyone.
Yep. So thank you guys. Remember what I always say. Always make it home the same way you left. Be safe out there. Also, do the little things. Set yourself apart from the next guy. All right? There's no excuses. Do those little things. All the stuff I talk about on this podcast, I talk about on other people talk about on their podcast. Do those little things to set yourself apart. There's no reason you can't learn. There's free YouTube videos. There's all this content out there for you to get better. Take advantage of it. All right? Until next week, man. I love you, motherfuckers, and I'll see you next. This will be out next week, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.